Hello everybody, this is the third time I'm doing this video because I kept getting aggravated when I remember things. But I'm going to tell a story about a former officer and sergeant at MSP, Missouri State Penitentiary. Before I get into that, I'm going to talk about some of my own experiences. When I was at MSP, you could walk out with sugar and even fruit, and I've seen people come out with tumblers full of milk and stuff. That's no longer allowed. They get you for the smallest thing anymore, and it doesn't make sense. You're gonna write somebody up for a few packs of sugar. Now I can understand if it's a whole lot, maybe you want to write them up because you think they're gonna make hooch or something, which a lot of times they was doing. Some people can't afford to buy sugar out of the canteen. They sell these sugar cubes, and that's all some people can do just to afford the necessities. But so the sugar thing really gets me, and some of these guards, not so much the white shirts and stuff, but the guards shaking down, and they'll find 4 or 5 packs of sugar and think they found something. I mean, they're just going nuts. You'd think they found a weapon. It doesn't make sense, if you have to, take the sugar from them, but don't write them up. It's sugar. A few packs of sugar. Anyway, this officer and former sergeant, she made sergeant while she was there at MSP. She told the story that when she was a CO, she used to volunteer for the kitchen all the time because she went in early and got off early, especially in the summertime, it'd still be light outside. She said she searched everybody that went in the kitchen or out of the kitchen. And finally at 8 a.m., these guys were coming out to go back to their housing units. There was this chubby guy that came out with a big bulge in front of his pants. And she said, God has never been that kind to a white man. Are you sure you want to go back in the bathroom and bring me out what you have in your pants? I told him that I would not write him up if he gave me what was he was hiding. He looked disappointed when he brought the sugar out, and it was a kitchen worker. It was a kitchen worker hat full of sugar. She didn't write him up. Apparently he had a whole bunch of sugar. And that reminds me of one time this guy asked me, he says, "Hey, Harv," he says, I would like for you, I need some help bringing some boiled eggs out. They used to serve us boiled eggs sometimes. And I said, okay. And I didn't know there was going to be such a hassle. And so he had these jock straps to hold stuff in, You put them in a bag, and then you put them in the jock strap. So we got our boiled eggs. And they're hot, they're not cold, and they get to burning. So as I'm leaving, this guard says, "Come here, let me shake you down." Oh, great. I'm just wanting to get back to the housing unit fast because it is hot. And he pats me down, and I guess he feels the edge of one of the eggs or something. He goes, "What?" I said, "It's not what you think." He goes, "You effing smart ass, go on." I don't know how I was being a smart ass, but anyway, I went on. You're not supposed to run on the walks, but I was doing everything but running. And so was he. He'd got out without being pat searched. And he was stepping it too. And Get back to the housing. As we go in, there's a guard out there. Dang, if both of us didn't get pulled over. Pat searched. And he was telling us all the time, you guys are walking a little faster than walk. What's the hurry? And I'm just, when he's Pat searching me, I'm moving. I can't stand still. And he goes, I said, I need to use the bathroom, man. So he said, go on. I get in there and I get those out. My God, that was a relief. But, and he said, hey, appreciate that. And he goes, I'm going to make something. You want something or you want canteen? I want canteen, dude. Give me canteen. And so he did, but I understand CEOs doing their job. You know, pat searching and all that. But there's some things they shouldn't write anybody up for. I mean, maybe give them a warning, maybe take it from them, whatever. But don't write them up, you know. I remember one time at Lincoln, when I first got there, we're only allowed to have these flex pens. You know, they bend. They're just hard to write with. And where I worked in a food service warehouse at the time, and my boss gave us all pens. He wasn't thinking about not being allowed. And we didn't care to tell him. And so I get searched one time by these new guards. They went nuts. It was 2 new guards. And, oh, we got a pen. We got a pen. They called the sergeant. We got a potential weapon. They literally said this. We got a potential weapon. And the sergeant looked at him. I mean, you could just see it in his eyes. He's like, really? And he says, I'm getting mad, you know. And he could tell I was getting mad. But I was trying to hold my composure. He goes, you guys go on. He goes, this is nothing to write him up for. Just take it from him. And Marcel, he was like, what the? And so the sergeant tells me, he says, Harv, I know you're mad. I can see it in your face. He said, but you got to keep one thing in mind. There's a new type of CEO coming in. They won't, you know, they want to prove themselves and everything, and they don't listen to us older people. You know, they go strictly by the book. And I said, man, that's just ridiculous. A weapon? I said, I understand you got to take the pen, and we ain't supposed to have it and everything, you know. I said, but he's just going nuts, you know. And his sidekick with him. And he laughed and he says, I know. He goes, I try to school these guys. And he says, some of them listen, some of them don't. He said, you're not going to be written up for this. He says, but where'd you get the pen? So I said, look, I work in the food service warehouse. I got marked down inventory and all this. And he gives each of us a pen. And I said, tomorrow he's going to give us another pen. He goes, don't get caught with them. Or he said, better yet, don't even bring them back to the housing unit. I'm going to bring them back to the housing unit. You know, they're better to write with. That's back then. We didn't have emails and stuff. And so, I kept doing that. But back to the sergeant, Sergeant McClendon. She said she got wrote up one time. This is another story she's telling me because of giving somebody. Oh no, one of her officers was diabetic when was having a diabetic thing, and she asked a prisoner to bring a soda, and the prisoner did, and they gave it to him, and the guy was all right. But she got wrote up because she accepted that soda from a prisoner. It's a bunch of, it's a bunch of bull, man. You know, I've seen officers. It used to be behind the walls. Sometimes guards give you a cigarette or they give you a soda or something. Nothing was said, you know. Of course, then again, this was mostly done for the shoe shine people. And back then, the shoe shine people were usually rats, you know. But either way, nothing was said. I was in Licking and I seen an old school CO. I don't know what she was still doing being a CO. She'd been in the system a long time. But some of them just don't like getting promotions because of paperwork. But anyway, she got her shoes shined. This is what I'm told. And she gave the guy a soda. She just left it there and he got it. And anyway, she got walked. I don't know if what happened to her, but I do remember seeing her get walked out of the prison. So that's just some of the things, how stupid things are getting these days. So you guys keep in mind, not only if you go to prison, are you going to have to deal with all the BS on the yard with other prisoners and stuff, you know, watching your P's and Q's with them, staying out of wrecks and all this and that, staying aware of your surroundings, you know. But you got to deal with stupid COs. I'm just going to say it. All of them wanting to make a name for themselves, you know, on a power trip or something like that, you know. Very few that leave you alone anymore, you know. They all want to get write-ups in, you know. Look what I've done. Look, I wrote this guy up. That's all they're about nowadays. They write him up over the smallest thing. Anyway, I almost went into a rant again. Kind of did, and I apologize. But thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.